Hulkamania is running wild as Hulk Hogan has been reinstated in the WWE Hall of Fame, which is absolutely ridiculous because he was never out of the Hall of Fame. There's no physical Hall of Fame place like other Hall of Fames have, so WWE doesn't really have, an attraction like there's where they have a building for the Hall of Fame. So you can't take him out of there. He still has his Hall of Fame ring, for as I know. I mean, I don't think he's ever had to return his Hall of Fame ring. And if you watch the 2005 WWE Hall of Fame on the WWE Network or you get the DVD, Hulk Hogan is still there. So, well, a website. Yeah, he's out because of a website. So, ridiculous. I don't know if they've signed him to a long-term contract. They will eventually. I think they're just taking baby steps. I've seen some backlash, but not too much backlash. Some people are saying, look, it's been 3 years. You can bring him back. That's where I am at. He's in Pittsburgh right now. He's backstage. Charlie Caruso said on the pre-show he's mingling with wrestlers backstage. So, I definitely am supporting WWE bringing back Hulk Hogan. He definitely he's with arguably the biggest star in the history of the business. So I think, look, he made racist comments. It was terrible. He apologized. It's been 3 years. They can give second chances. They've given second chances to many people. So Hogan's back, and I'm happy for him. So Extreme Rules is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania tonight. And Pittsburgh, we'll see how the crowd reacts. It's on the pre-show right now. You have Andrade, Cien, Almas taking on Cara right now. Match wasn't much. It was basically a SmackDown match on a pay-per-view pre-show. So now we have the six-man tag match, tables match, New Day against Sanity. So when they had the match, New Day and Sanity, I thought they had a fun match. I enjoyed it for what it was. You had some spots. You had typical, six-man tag spots. It was fun. It was an elimination table. I wish they would have made this like a main roster, main show match. Had it like elimination tables. I think that would have been really good. But it was fine. Sanity gets the win. Eric Young pits Kofi Kingston through the table for the victory. So definitely the best thing Sanity has done on the main roster, their biggest win. So with that, the show is about to take place. We will see. Hopefully, WWE puts on a good show.
They started off the main
a good
show
main
with
card
the tag team
for
championship match. It was Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt defending their titles against the B team. And
shockingly, we have new tag champs. I wasn't expecting that, and I think it's bullshit. Even though I think Bray Wyatt's terrible, he bores me to death, and I'm disappointed they had to have Matt Hardy take the pin. I wish they would have just had Bray Wyatt take the pin, because he's fucking terrible, but they had Hardy take the pin. Not a bad match, just the B team I think sucked. I think they're jobbers. I think they destroyed the tag titles, but then again, we saw Nicholas as part of the tag team championship earlier this year with Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. So, you know what? It is what it is. They have this B team are jobbers, and they're your champs.
Those guys are jobbers. They're glorified jobbers. They have no business as tag team championships. They both should be released, in my opinion. I think they're both fucking terrible. But I mean, hopefully they get destroyed by the Authors of Pain or the Revival, or they can get something. But these guys are a joke. Finn Balor and Baron Corbin, I barely can pay attention. Boring as shit. Baron Corbin's fucking terrible. Why the fuck do they have this fucking guy wearing slacks? It's like he's Corporate Kane. Remember they did that with Corporate Kane for a while when they had him wrestling in slacks because he was he had some kind of corporate job. Now this is what they do now. Okay, if you have a corporate job, you can't wear your wrestling gear. You used to be a wrestler, but now you have to wear a fucking suit. Corbin looks like a fucking goofball out there. Balor gets a cheap win, a roll-up when he just won with this finisher. That match was nothing. Oh my god, I want to talk about this next match. Oh, fuck. Well, you have Asuka and Carmella. This is a shark cage match. This was fucking trash. This was abysmal. Carmella is the worst champion in the company's had, and she's worse than Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal was a shitty champion, but I mean, his matches were not good, but I mean, they weren't abysmal. Like, they weren't this terrible. She is fucking garbage. She's the worst wrestler on the roster, in my opinion. That's Wrestling Weekly. She has to be the worst. There's no other worse woman. I can't think of a worse woman on the main roster. I can't. No one's worse. She's fucking terrible. I mean, if you wrestle weekly, she is fucking terrible. She is horrible. She is garbage. She's a Jersey Shore reject. She looks like a fucking Jersey Shore slut. She's just fucking terrible. The whole women's division's fucking trash. You have two joke champions. Carmella is a joke, and Alexa Bliss, she might be good on the mic, but come on. She looks tiny. I don't know what the fuck happened to Alexa Bliss. Man, she used to be muscular. She looks so fucking skinny. Like, these are your champions. One looks like a Jersey Shore reject. One's fucking looks like a high school cheerleader. And she was a cheerleader. That's your fucking women's division. That's why the women's division's a fucking joke. Oh my god, this fucking match was trash. This was fucking garbage. This was a piece of shit match. This was fucking terrible. This was horrible. This killed Asuka. I wish Asuka would go back to NXT or go back to Japan, because they are fucking ruined her. 2 years of building this chick up to lose to a fucking Jersey Shore reject. Fuck that goddamn match. It was fucking terrible. So they had Jeff Hardy and Nakamura, and I was going to rant on this, but I guess Jeff Hardy's hurt. So, I mean, it was a squash match. It was like 6 seconds, but I was going to give it a big rant. But I guess if Jeff Hardy's hurt, I guess they had to do that. It was still a joke. It was nothing to say. Had Randy Orton turned heel on Jeff Hardy after the match. God, that was fucking terrible. Nothing much to say. Nakamura's your U.S. champ. But I get completely overshadowed by a stupid Randy Orton heel turn. You could have just done that shit on SmackDown. And they later on the show, they announced a rematch with Nakamura and Hardy on SmackDown. They never do that for a pay-per-view. They announce something on a rematch for a TV show on a pay-per-view. That almost never happens. And he had Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens in a very average match, a nothing match. This was nothing for the whole match was nothing. It all was because of the big spot. They only wanted to build up. They wanted to build up to a big spot when they're trying to. I guess it's 20 years ago, the Mick Foley, Mankind Undertaker spot at the Hell in a Cell in Pittsburgh that took place there 20 years ago. He threw him off the Hell in a Cell. I guess they wanted to recreate that. So it's 20 years later. It's in Pittsburgh. It's a different arena. But you have Kevin Owens. He wants to recreate the Mick Foley bomb. So what they do is they have Strowman as the Undertaker, and he chokeslams him off the top of the cage. Through an announcer's table. There was a crash pad, but that was fine. Before we get to that spot, I mean, the whole match was boring. There was nothing. It was handcuffs. It was just Strowman throwing Owens into the cage. The crowd was dead. The crowd was not good tonight. The match was shit. The match sucked. I thought the match was terrible, before that. So that spot was it was an amazing spot. It was crazy. But I mean, it's like, really? We need to do that? We need to have a guy get killed? I don't know. I don't want to see someone die. I mean, it's like, do we need to see Kevin Owens take that fucking bump? I'm thinking to myself, getting chokeslammed off the cage, going head first through a table. I don't know. I don't want to see that I don't want to see guys die. I don't know these people. I'm not friends with them. They're not my family. It's just, I don't need to see Kevin Owens fucking almost die there. It's so fucking dangerous. There's monitors. I mean, he landed great, but it's like, if he fucks up, what if he has what if he just makes one mistake up there? It's fuck off, man. I don't like to see a guy die. It's like, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, when Shane McMahon does a spot off the Hell in a Cell, it's the Hell in a Cell, and this is just a cage match. The thing with Shane, it's a lot safer the way he does it. He just jumps off. This, you're taking a choke slam, and the way he's landing, it's just, oh god, I hated it. I cringe, and the match was terrible before that, and Owens gets a joke victory. Strowman's mocking him after the match. I don't know. This did no one favors. They have to do this fucking spot. I didn't care for it. Then we go to a shit show. You have Team Hell No challenging the Bludgeon Brothers. So earlier in the show, you had the Bludgeon Brothers take out Kane. They trapped his leg in the door, and they used a sledgehammer and hurt his ankle. So this match turned into a handicap match, and as a handicap match, this was good. This was actually going good, and then King came in, the match went to hell. The match went way down. The match was terrible for a while. I thought the match sucked for a strong portion of the match. Near the end, I thought the match fell apart. There was some cool spots. Daniel Bryan is so over. It's incredible. The crowd loved Daniel Bryan. Pittsburgh loves Daniel Bryan. Remember the 2014 Royal Rumble? Then the fans hijacked the whole show because they're pissed off he was in the Rumble. Pittsburgh really likes him. That's a weird connection. It's just, he also has a crazy connection, Shawn Michaels. I remember a few years ago, Shawn Michaels would always appear in Pittsburgh. It was awkward. I don't know why. Why was Shawn? It's kind of informed me that. I just thought of that. There's a weird connection. Guess they both have a weird connection to Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh, they really like Daniel Bryan. He was so over. It's crazy. By far the most over guy on the show. They love that guy. Everything that guy did was awesome. And there's reports he signed a new contract. I'm not sure. And I don't know if it's good or not. If I want him to stay around, but it's probably good for him. He has a family and stuff, so it makes sense for him to stay. But the match itself, it was fine as a handicap match. I was enjoying it. And then King came. It's nothing against King, but the match slowed right down, and they went to the finish, and they pinned Daniel Bryan cleanly. I'm thinking to myself, really? Can't they pin Kane? Why? It's they're going to write Kane off TV probably after this injury so he can go be a mayor. Why do they have to pin Daniel Bryan? Kane's going to probably leave. This annoyed me. This match, the ending ruined it. Then he went to Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley and the fans. Okay, so here's what I think. Here's my conspiracy theory of the night. The fans were muted. The WWE turned down the volume 100%. They were going off. They were trying. You can hear there was trying to chant, "We want beach balls." There was reports that there. I don't know if there was beach balls, but there was reports of Steelers chants because it's Pittsburgh. They're cheering for the Steelers. They might have cheered for the Penguins too. Who knows? They were cheering for everything except the match. I really think WWE decided to turn down the volume. They've done that in the past with Reigns, and they knew because the last show he had with the match with Jinder was a fucking disaster. They didn't want to repeat, and I think that's what was happening. The fans were hijacking the match. You can tell Reigns was pissed off in the ring, and it wasn't a bad match or anything. It's just like, this is what's going to happen. Roman Reigns on pay-per-view now. Bobby Lashley pins Roman Reigns cleanly. You know, it is what it is. I still don't think they're going to go up Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Or Bobby Lashley. I still think it's still going to be Lesnar and Reigns for some reason. I don't even care. It's like, just, can you get the belt off Brock now? It's fucking terrible. This show has been terrible. This has been a horrible pay-per-view. This has been worse than Backlash. That match was no good. Speaking of anything being no good, Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax in one of the worst matches of the year. Not as bad as Asuka Carmella because that was just a shit show. That made Asuka look like a fucking idiot. This doesn't necessarily make either of them look like a fucking idiot. It just makes them both look like that exposes both of them as being completely green and may not even be worthy of being on the main roster for either of them. Because this was fucking garbage. Both of them fucked every spot up. It's more on Nia. Nia is slow. She's fat. She's clumsy. She's out of shape. You can't move. Have you ever noticed Nia Jax only get up when she has to grab the ring rope? She is fucking garbage. Nia was just awful here. She is messing everything up. There was one spot Alexa Bliss took, probably the only bump she's taken all year. It's been hard. It's like she takes a Gorilla Plus slam and she falls on the front part of her body through a trash can. That was cool, but I mean, the chair shots by Alexa looked fucking terrible. The kendo sticks looked like shit. Every single thing they did looked like shit. They were botching everything left and right. There was one spot when Nia Jax runs into the turnbuckle with the chair, and the spot looked fucking garbage. This was just a garbage match, and the whole thing was building up to Ronda Rousey, who the crowd loved. She comes in and she raises hell. And Mickie James helps Alexa win. I'm afraid at SummerSlam we're going to get like Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax against Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. That might be the direction. They're going to keep the belt on Bliss for till WrestleMania 35. That's what they're going to do. They're going to keep it on that little girl. She must be blowing everyone in the back. I'm joking. I like Alexa Bliss, but there's something up with her. She is so tiny. What the fuck? I mean, I've heard rumors. I don't want to go into that, but she's battled anorexia. She's falling off the tracks again. She looks so tiny. She used to be really tiny. She was a small frame, but she was really muscular. It's like something up there. I don't know. But that match was fucking garbage. So WWE title, AJ Styles and Rusev. And by the way, the whole thing with Ronda Rousey, for her to just get taken out with the kendo stick by Mickie James. Mickie James had a huge part. I hope she doesn't actually have a match, it's a tag match at SummerSlam, because they want Nia there. I mean, it pays to be The Rock's cousin. Damn you, Rock, and your relations. Okay, then he had AJ Styles and Rusev for WWE Championship. I'll be honest, I was bored for most of this match. Just couldn't take Rusev seriously. When they had Reigns and Lashley going earlier, I'm thinking stuff. All right, if this goes on last, maybe Rusev's going to win. It's just, AJ is going to win. And Vince loves AJ, which is great. He wishes he signed him 10 years earlier. The thing is, it's like, I'm kind of bored with this title reign already. I want to see a new champion. I'm sick of it. I wish they would have put the belt on Nakamura during WrestleMania. I wish they would have put the belt on Rusev. I'm bored with AJ as champion. I want to see someone else get the belt. I don't know. I think Joe is next in line. That's who I think that's a SummerSlam match, if that to make a prediction, but I don't care that much, and I don't see Joe winning at all. So I'm not into AJ and Joe. I'm not into, I kind of wish we had a new champ. The match here, there were some parts they tried to make Rusev's going to win. I could never take it seriously because they weren't going to have Rusev win. But AJ retains. The match was okay. They had Aiden English kind of mess up. It was fine. It was a good championship match. It's just the show's been so terrible. It's hard to get anything into it. Now, main event, Ziggler and Rollins. Hopefully we get Dean Ambrose. Hopefully we have Dean Ambrose here. Match is going on. Maybe he's coming up in the main event. It's an Ironman match. We'll see. For that Ironman match, I didn't like it. It was a good match. It's just the way they booked it. It was 30 minutes, so what they did was they had Ziggler Rollins get off to a huge lead. He pinned Ziggler twice, and then McIntyre changes the match. It goes up 3-0 Ziggler. Rollins. Rollins up 3-0 from a DQ, even though it probably should have been 5-0 because he should have been DQ'd 2 more times. But Ziggler takes advantage, and he takes the whole middle of the match beating down Rollins. He scores 4 straight falls. He pins Rollins, and he pins him again after a kick. Then he hits a zigzag, and he gets another victory. So it's 4-3. Rollins ties it late in the match, and the match goes to sudden death overtime. Kurt turns it, comes out, makes it into sudden death overtime since it was 4-4, and then the way it ended was just really that's how you're gonna end the show. Ziggler gets out, retains the IC title. It's like that's that same depressing WWE ending. Just have AJ and Rusev as the main event. I didn't get that. I would have just done that because you have the babyface going on top. You have Dolph Ziggler winning the match. Like Vince hates Pittsburgh, so yeah. The whole of the crowd in this match was like they didn't give a fuck about anything. They like whenever the countdown clock, they would pretend it was the Royal Rumble. They go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like it's the Royal Rumble. The last time there was a Royal Rumble, there to hijack the fucking show. So I don't know if they want another Royal Rumble, but yeah, just a horrible show. This was worse than Backlash. This is one of the worst pay-per-views of all time. I don't know if it's the worst, but this was worse than Backlash. This was fucking garbage. There was not one match that was great. This was a fucking terrible show, and this is one of the worst pay-per-views of all time. This was fucking terrible. Sorry, Pittsburgh. Like they gave them a horrible show, and this was just absolute trash. One of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen. This was fucking garbage. This was a disgrace, a piece of shit show, a nothing show, a throwaway show, nothing extreme at all about the series. This show was a piece of shit. This was a fucking terrible show.